Right now, I want to introduce you to a gentleman who is the VP of Innovation for Ricardo, and that's Mr. David Rollafson.
Nice to meet you, Roger.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to be here.
Well, Dave is an interesting story from his company, and I'm going to ask a leading question, and that is, what is a flywheel?
Well, the flywheel's been around for a few thousand years.
Absolutely.
It's a rotating component which stores energy. So if you're going to make a hybrid machine, you could use a battery to store energy, you could use supercaps, you could use a hydraulic accumulator, or you could use a flywheel. What we do is we recover energy, we store it in a rotating flywheel, and we return it to the machine when it's needed to save fuel. And that fuel saving is what the operators and the OEMs are looking for. They're looking for at least 10% fuel efficiency improvement, which saves them money every year. That's our game.
Any limitation on the type of machine your product can be fitted to?
Well, it's not so much the machine that's a limitation, it's more the duty cycle. So for example, if you think about an excavator,
right,
it's doing work against gravity all the time. When the excavator boom falls against gravity, that energy is being wasted. We capture it into a flywheel and use that energy to do work. That saves the engine having to use fuel to do that work. Okay, so things like excavators and loaders that are doing work against gravity, they're absolute certs for flywheel integration.
How much money really can one of these save in the imposition of one of these into a machine?
Well, let's think about a typical machine in a high usage application. Say we're constructing a new highway and we're digging drainage ditches.
Right.
We've probably got something like a 30-ton excavator. It's digging a drainage ditch. It's probably running 14 hours a day. That machine will burn through about $45,000 worth of fuel a year. We aim to save at least 10% of that. So we're delivering to the operator, by choosing a flywheel machine, a $4,500 a year saving per machine. It'll vary by duty cycle.
Absolutely.
But generally speaking, that's the order of magnitude we're talking about.
So what distinguishes a Ricardo flywheel from, let's say, other products in the out in the marketplace?
Well, the thing about flywheels is everybody, many people I talk to, think of a flywheel as going to be a big, heavy thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. The trick with a flywheel is it's got to be small and light, but it's got to spin very quickly. And if you spin something very quickly, you get wind resistance. You need to run it in a vacuum, and that's the trick. But the thing is, vacuums leak. Ricardo gets around that by using a magnetic gear. So we can put energy into our vacuum sealed flywheel and take energy out without any leaking seals, without any vacuum pumps that might fail. And that magnetic gear, that's a distinguishing feature which makes it efficient, and secondly, easy to service in the field, because that's absolutely key. We don't want any downtime for an operator.
So you have a retrieval system,
yeah,
and you have a holding system, quote unquote,
flywheel, yeah,
and then you have a delivery system.
Absolutely.
All incorporated into this one device.
Exactly. What we do is we connect a variable hydraulic pump motor into the hydraulic circuit of the machine. That brings the energy from the hydraulic circuit that would be wasted, stores it in the flywheel, and when we need the energy, we run the pump motor in reverse, and that delivers the flywheel's energy to be fluid flow, which powers the machine, the implements, what have you. When we're not recovering energy, the flywheel is not doing anything. It's sitting there inert. And unlike a battery system, there are no unfamiliar big orange electrical cables that will scare the maintenance guys. There's no excessively expensive supercapacitors or big hydraulic accumulators. It's actually a very compact system, probably about sort of so big.
Super. Very, very fascinating.
Thank you,
I've
Roger.
enjoyed the conversation.
Absolutely, me too.
David Rollafson, who is the VP of Innovation at Ricardo, and I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there that are going to want to know more about this exciting product. So if you're into savings and fuel savings and regeneration systems, these are the people to talk to. If you're at the show finally, certainly stop by and say hello. The folks at Ricardo, and not, you can find them online, I would say.
Absolutely.
RicardoInc.com.
Ricardo.com.
Excellent. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you, Roger.
Thank you.